here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. So it's a snowy day here. The pest control was supposed to come in today. It's snowing again. I doubt they'll be here. That's a hefty bit of snow already on the ground. I'm trying to remove the things that are projecting at us. So, just like when Elon says, don't believe what they're saying in the news because they're trying to drive a wedge between Trump and him. Doing the same thing with me. What you'll find is I'll say something and then they'll put it in the news and they'll try to put it in your head that they said it because of me and then I should shut up or something like that. Right. What they're doing is they're holding it back until, they have to release it. I'm kind of triggering them to release it. Not when they want to. Like, more instances would occur. Right. Thanks, Larry. But the co-interviews it feeds that co-president thing. So, well, Trump used to do interviews alone all the time. So it doesn't work for the larger thing. Right. In fact, I'm nothing at Musk again. He has his take on the world, and he's autistic or something. Right. But when's the last time we saw Donald Trump with the First Lady? Okay. Right. Right there. So again, that. I'm not posting a lot of news articles because they're unflattering. I'm trying to recap. But if you look at what the submissions in court could be seen as false. You have to understand this. The firings are being done by agency people, but who's telling them to fire? And what happens if you don't do what Musk says? So again, if you investigatively, and doesn't take a big investigation, if you reconstruct what we see happening, what do we see? Over here, if you don't listen to Musk, you get fired. Over there, they're making their own free decision. If they put it in the news, they know, they see it already. Right? Do you have to be careful about your court submissions? Because the administration is presenting a certain picture that would be very difficult to present facts that support. just taking all those voices and trying to remove them. They're spiritual, they're psychic. Boy, it's got to be nasty out there. I haven't gone outside. Don't know if I'll go out for a couple of days or not. I might, just kind of venture out to the breezeway. So, I'm able to get it to 69 out front here at 5 degrees outside. That would not be possible had I not purchased that other heater. Thank you, Larry. And there's like 72 back here. It's almost too hot. Actually 71. That's my extra degree there. So I ordered something from Amazon last night. Obviously, it's not going to deliver today. Trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I guess it delivered maybe tomorrow or the next day. So the weird part is with my back, it's promising for a fusion, as far as fusions go, or fusing it. Generally, when it's in the right side, the left side's okay. When it's in the left side, the right side's kind of okay. So it's showing that it's transient, which means something is causing it, and it's most likely an impingement of some sorts. Right. I have no idea what happened in Amarillo. I mean, it was the worst experience medically I've ever experienced. And also in Tyler, Texas. Yeah. See, I think they messed up the epidural somehow. Right. I couldn't think of it, or I could have got one a couple years ago, or even 3 years ago, probably. Right. Again, when you're being attacked, right, and they're minding you on top of attacking you with PSYOP, it's very difficult. Well, what happened is it was cramped up, and I kind of left it kind of cramped up. Right. I'm hoping to get somewhere where I was maybe a couple months ago, but without it being cramped up like that. But I don't know. May not be enough in my body to do that. But again, anyway, before you get surgery, you have to go through several modalities before they'll, entertain it. I know I did it before, but they would probably want something recent tried. Right. I definitely am with a better pain management person. Again, it's called pain management, but it can actually heal you. I mean, I'm probably, when I was younger, stuff like that could heal you. Right. Get a shot and you're good for like 8 years or something. Right. It just releases something. Right. Again, the stress that they put on a person can cause a lot of issues, and did. If I were all of you, I'd pay me. There's still signs out there. I don't necessarily want to repeat everything because you all take it the wrong way. But again, you're losing the protection of God. NYPD officer shot in the shoulder, right? my shoulder hurts. I'm having pains in the shoulder. Now, these things are transient, so I think over time they should subside. But sometimes the body gets inflamed, right? And then something cools it, and then it's okay for a season. But again, I'm at the point probably where I want to fuse it. Probably, looking back 4 years, looking at where I am now, right, because I can, for some reason, I decompressed or something woke me up, whatever it was. Right. I probably should have fused it. Right. Chances of that guy totally botching it in that particular hospital are slim to none. Your body's a lot less likely to cramp up with less stress, right? And they know it. That's why they do it. Well, through massage, they probably can't press out my body so that what they do stays and takes. Right? I mean, it's okay. It's working somewhat, but right. I probably need to fuse it so it can work. Because at this point, if they looks like when they press it out, then the legs get real weak. I'm very much encouraged by the fact that when it was released before, it was really weird and very, very weak, and right. And the back adjusts different ways. Well, through an investigative process, I mean, it's already been in the news, and if you don't do what Elon says, you're gone. Right? And then to say that he doesn't make the decision is right. I couldn't even see that my body was all that cramped up. I couldn't see what was going on. Right. Thanks, Larry. And I guess my first year here, I did a lot more activity. Right. So I was out there gardening and all that kind of thing. And that tends to, keep you more limber a little bit at least, even if you're compacted. But I mean, if I take an Epsom salt bath with a little arnica and it unlocks, then, it's got a future. Right. It's just, I think part of it is this weather too, for whatever reason. So when the weather subsides and warms, which is another week, theoretically, as long as it stays on course. It's definitely not what they forecasted. Although I think they did forecast somewhere around this time period for it to get a little cooler. But they had actually forecasted warmer weather before it. Well, it's just these are facts that can be presented in court, believe it or not, where Trump used to always do the interviews alone, and now it seems like this constant Elon. Well, they did say co-president, and there's a possibility. Well, some of Elon's advice is kind of bombastic. So I don't know, if it's really, the influences might be a little bit much, right? But again, who influences who? I mean, it happens all around D.C. Right? Obviously, we know that Biden was being influenced. Well, it'd be interesting. Like, I think the judge wants to find out. So how are you deciding who to fire? Who comes up with it? I imagine it might be some computer code that generates a list. I mean, to me, it looks like they get off on firing people. That's not a good look either, especially when we most likely will have an unemployment increase and a downturn in the near future. Again, you had voters vote for you, and you're turning yourselves into them instead of keeping them in as the us. No, I sure hope, again, like in Ukraine, I hope there's a uh, process where Ukraine is embraced as an equal at a certain point. Otherwise, Europe will reject the peace plan. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, again, it has to be agreeable to Putin, it has to be agreeable to Russia. I don't know what that is. Well, it's like all or nothing. I mean, you have to get to a certain point. That's what I tried to explain before. You have to get it to a certain point where everybody's in. And you have to be careful of the bargaining chips. Like, I guess saying the bargaining chips, the leverage. Well, I'll just put 35% tariffs on Europe, and then like somebody like our farmers go belly up. Right. So again, you have to step back from the hype. You have to step back from the election rhetoric. You have some very serious economic issues on the horizon. And if they think you don't care and you're only going to self-enrich them, they'll dump you. That includes state elections. I can tell that they're researching state capability to charge and sue everywhere. The thing is, if I'd have, just a side note, like going back and forth, if I'd have met a doctor like that like 6 years ago, I'd have been fine. Because he would have just explained everything to me. Right. Some I already knew at this point, but simple anesthesiologist, Right. I knew not to lift over my head, but when they started Judenrousing me, that's where I lost my focus. I was still fine when I got into Oklahoma. I don't know if it was exactly healthy to live there, but but like I feel like I'm part of the team. You understand what I'm saying? The difference? Maybe because it's a major hospital system. I don't know. But again, they anti-routed my life. I'd have been like doing yoga in California. Right. That would have probably been my life. So the system was trying to shift me, and they were manually destroying the system's capability to take care of me. So I don't feel as bad as I did yesterday. So that's a good thing. Like I said, I'm back in my $20 insoles. But this happens, I understand. They have to send them in to redo them sometimes. I mean, they're nice and flat, but it doesn't unlock my back for some reason. And I guess stiffer. Coming down pretty heavy. At first, I didn't think there would be enough snow. Like I thought maybe the pest control would come in, but not now. I actually just put on a pair of shorts and walk out there because I'm only walking out to the breezeway. Get some nice cool air. Well, I don't think we have the power to do any more if we don't fix what's going on around all the court cases. Like there's a restraining feature just in those court cases coming forward without fruition. Oh. Right. Well, because I just told you not to do certain things. There's a price to pay for that. Well, the people that you fired are now cursing you. Yeah. They're hell bent on having the last laugh. 100%. Now let's see what it's like. I'm gonna get like frostbite. Yeah, one thing about being at home, you could broadcast in your boxer shorts. Ooh, it's pretty cold out here. I guess it isn't that much snow, but it's starting to get there. Yeah. I doubt they'll do pest control in this weather. Yeah, I definitely wish 2 years ago or so I'd have found a guy like the guy I just found today or yesterday to explain this whole thing to me and try to get it forward. Yeah, but like, having unlocked like that, I have like a lot of pain management guys will not recommend surgery, right? Because they've seen enough of them go bad, right? But Again, a lot of people get the surgery, after the surgery's healed, they don't get massage. So whatever caused the one disc to go bad will then begin to eat the other disc up. Right. So you have to correct the deficiency. I mean, there's no way that I should have ended up like this. It was just a lot of blindsiding and harassment because I knew not to lift weights over my head. I knew that. And I think what happened is, and again, I got tight and I couldn't get the massage. Again, there were so many things that they did. Well, I'm in a lot of like inflammation kind of pain, and I'm not taking much for it. And I don't usually do that because I don't want to settle into the idea, taking more medicine, because, later when you need more medicine, then what do you take? Right. There's no way it should have been done to me. I was had 5 different disabilities probably. I mean, it makes no sense. They're hiring young people and all these things. I'm not putting myself in harm's way. You all put harm around me. Most people will not do what they did to me because there's deterrence. There's a police department. Y'all made deals with the police departments. Right. All right, psychically, there's an extortion trigger based upon something some people did. So, why is the immigrant community here? Why are they so welcoming of the immigrant community? Trying to figure out how to turn that. I got so much food in my little refrigerator. I had a feeling that was going to happen. And I bought some low-fat ice cream bars, and they're frozen. I have to bite them, so I have to. I'm just going to leave them outside to frost. He thinks I'll be okay, and okay, I might be okay to a certain degree. But if my legs are weak after this is all said and done, I'm going to have to go get probably surgery. No, 12 years ago, I had a big issue in Naples with physical health. So since then, I was absolutely physically disabled. Now, if you see me on my bicycle, if you see me walking, that doesn't mean that I'm not disabled. These are things that keep that disability at bay. I don't have to lay in my bed to be disabled. That's why we have disability. So people don't work themselves into a condition like that. It's a little dry in here. I'm using my smaller humidifiers to try to keep it a little moist in here. because the heaters are up so high. Right. So they may have, had sex out of, as an affair. There may have been the immigrant community, as far as the criminal immigrant community, the ones that have the big money, may have compromised certain people. And it did come up that it could also be child sex related, where they provided a service and now they own whoever it is. Thank you, Larry. So this may be why globally we see them unwilling to buck that community. And it may just be like an AI collecting information, and they're afraid of it. In fact, the intense push to over-accept immigrants may actually be created by a right-wing spy entity in a left-wing country, including that will take over. I think they woke up a little bit late to that. As far as the Biden administration. I guess South Africa was petitioning the Trump administration, wanting foreign aid. Now, he may have this big grandiose plan, and Ukraine. Talk to South Africa. Come to agreements. They have things we could kind of swap out. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Take care of that. Maybe it won't. Anyway. Well, they have resources that maybe, if they want cash, I don't know how they feel about that. But it would make more sense in something like South Africa than it would, at least this point, in the Ukraine thing. Well, your predecessor, Joe Biden, gave that stuff away free. Now you're all coming along saying you owe us. There is no obligation anywhere for Ukraine that a court would accept to pay us. Right. Thank you, Larry. But again, you should pay me. Right. Because God's definitely reacting to me not being paid. Well, I wouldn't wait for the VA. That's going to take a while. That's a scam that they did before. And then I never got paid. Right. In fact, that's what crashed my life. So what I'm doing now is, even though my digestion seems like to be moving through me correctly, I'm trying to speed it up to see if that alleviates. Like, digestion may have slowed down a little, enough to cause back pressure. Yeah, I can't get out to exercise. I got a treadmill, but it's under there, under my sofa. I'd have to get it out. So I'm just walking through the apartment, back and forth. Not crazy. It's a form of exercise. So it's going to be nice in 7 days, or even 6 days, I think. And some of this might back off a little bit. I was outside walking and broadcasting on the warmer days previously this month. So I don't know where I'm going to be when it gets warmer. Definitely when I get all this to release real nice, definitely peaceful, more peaceful for me. So again, that's part of what's been going on. Again, I had exactly done to me what I told you they did. Oh yeah, I'm going to warranty it. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, it looked like you're trying to kill me for that. I'm going to cancel the thing, my Amazon order. Which I think I will. Oh, it's already shipped. I doubt it'll go out for delivery. Yeah. Well, because I didn't know, something buzzed me in the mind to say, isn't it still under warranty? Because the fingerprint thing's not working already. I thought I had already ordered it, and I didn't. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's definitely. I guess I could just order a second one to have it. Yeah, there's a. Okay. That's weird. If I'm murdered, just know I talk shit till the bitter end. So, again, that extortionist could use that. Like uni on Instagram. Thank you, Larry. Okay, I gotta unplug this because this isn't working. No, there were times when I had like an attack or something, and it was weird until I got my steroid and my massage, and then over time it went into regression, whatever it is. Right. So again, yeah, there's hope, I guess. And this weather, again, wait until this weather kind of goes by the way. So I just wish I could have found a woman because my whole life would have changed. There would have moving around probably wouldn't have happened, and all right. 100%. We just would have been a peaceful pair till the end, right? Man, when they see your life go up, then they crash it. It makes them angry. Like you go to dentists and stuff, it makes them angry. They're sick. Okay, yeah. When you get just a reminder, I was going over my notes and stuff. X Hamster. Look for age regression. I didn't click the links. It looked like to me. I clicked one. It was age regression. The other one looks like age regression too. It's just I perceive on the other side of the click. It's like clickbait, but it's illegal clickbait because you're not allowed to regress those images to make them look younger. So it takes a sexual image from the video, I believe, right, and then causes it to appear younger. But it would be what do they call it? Depicting children. Keyword, stepfather. I guess that's it. The big one is that if the listing has an age, I guess, regressed, we're receiving a lot of pushback right now. I'm trying to do the best I can. Right. An age regressed photo, then that's illegal listing. Thank you, Lawrence. X Hamster came up as a participant in sexualization. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, sir. Possibly, like the not possibly, probably the algorithms were skewed. Thank you, Larry. So it could be an arm of organized crime and racketeering. Unless somebody dialed in or manipulating their algorithms. Hacked it. Thank you, Larry. So I used to go to the gyms, and I used to stretch a whole bunch, and after that thing happened in Naples, and they just totally knocked me off the block. Right. And they knew they were doing that. That wasn't bothering anybody in the gym. People would see me, showing interest in knowing me. I'd say hi, and that was it. Then they'd act like there was something there. Right. And all those years, I never had sex with anybody. Last person I had sex with was who? Angie in Baltimore in 2000, like 4 or 3. I don't even know. I think 3 maybe even. Thank you, Larry. But yet, the people that were doing this to me had sex. Right. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. It's a balmy 4 degrees outside. I actually walked outside in shorts. It didn't bother me too bad. I mean, I couldn't stay out there. Whew. Whew. A little chilly. No, I did some overhead lifting in Naples. It was probably wrong to do, but right. I probably triggered something. But after that, I didn't do much at all, if any. It's just really strange because I feel like this kind of weird inflammation at the top, and it's kind of tight in my back at the top right, and then that's when it triggers the thing below it, the sciatic nerve. So I don't know if it's just confused in what it's doing. But then when it's in the left side, it does the same thing. And now it's in the right side. Like the left side is not perfect, but not, it doesn't have that same inflammation. It actually has very little at this point. So again, I can see how he could think his procedure could work, and I think in years going by it would have worked. Right? I think they just screwed up my epidural. I couldn't even think to that. Like essentially, I think you take one a year later, so I would have been in wherever I was a year later, getting an epidural. And again, as far as buying all this stuff, I don't. I'm just trying to get a normal. What I'm trying to do, I think, is make up for what they're doing to me by trying to normalize my life, right? Which was working for a while, and right, I really do enjoy that arc. But at this point, I think I have too much stuff. If I could have got to my brothers, I know I would have woke up, right? And I think they knew that because they're isolating me. Do you see how it works? Right. 46%. Humidity, that's pretty good. Turn that off for a second. That one doesn't have a humidistat. Well, I'm not turning it up way high. I mean, it's 42% in here. But when it gets down to like 30, it gets a bit much. Well, like I called him. I wrote a note to him yesterday. I said, I don't know what this thing is in my left shoulder blade, just on the outside of the shoulder blade, in the middle of the back. He goes, well, it could be arthritis, but it's not showing that it's that because now it's in the right side and the left side doesn't have it. So I think it's part of this cramping thing that it does. Right. Trying to adjust my back. I still think that's the major part of it. Right. Just kind of confused. But everything kind of signifies that it's mostly coming from the lower lumbar, probably. Which means 4 years ago, I probably should have fused it just to stop the nonsense. And then I would have had at least normal walking and sitting. I don't do a lot of sitting, which I would do more sitting. Right. I don't think I had as much knowledge as I do now. But now they played me. I think my brother was influenced. I mean, we had a little bit of a argument, but he said he really didn't care about that much. Right. I apologized to him, and he said, nah, it didn't bother me. You know. No, he said I could live in his basement for a little while, and that would have been perfect. Right. He isolate you. That's how they do it. But again, until it warms back up again, I won't know what's actually going on. I didn't sleep for a long time last night, but it was good to sleep. I was afraid that maybe I couldn't. Right. As soon as I threw my shoes on and took a walk around the apartment and everything released, I knew I probably could sleep. I mean, every step of the way, they scumbagged my life. Well, see, you have to get your intersections because it changes course. If I'd have stayed in Grace Church, I probably never would have really ever been in a gym again. Right. Now, again, I probably wouldn't have had that thing happen in New Jersey. Right. Or I mean in Omaha, right. And New Jersey. And see, that's the problem. They're just constantly trying to work their, their obsession. The person is the victim of their obsession. Down, down, down. And some of this pain is increasing at this point. No, I could have stayed healthy my whole life. I knew, I knew what they were doing, but I couldn't break through what they were doing. The agents are supposed to be intelligent enough not to cause these damages in people's lives, and I believe they are. I believe these are intentional harms. Again, there are crooks involved with agents, and they're playing their games out, self-enriching. I'll try my new sandals and see if they work any better. So the weather change is something to look forward to because it's going to get warmer. And then also the the steroid treatment. So that might cool the body enough to get this thing under control to at least slowly and carefully make decisions. I think my body had cramped up in a way that would allow me to kind of, you know, move through life uh, to a certain degree, but right, just not a healthy way to be, and I probably shouldn't have stopped seeking treatment. But again, that was their goal. Well, you don't realize what they're doing to you when you're online, the day you're online looking up treatment. Right. The day you go to the doctor, the differences between other days. Like I know now what I know now I could have looked and figured it out before. Because remember, I caught them as soon as I scheduled a doctor's appointment, they were chasing me around. Right. Made an uptick. So if you can't see that, it eventually builds an aversion. No, previously I could lay in bed. I can't even do that now comfortably. Used to be able to lay in bed and kind of go through the internet. I'm kind of on my feet most of the day. Kind of the way it was before. They operated me the last time I went to get glasses. And again, it's just sort of, they get a demonic surge from it. So Satan will give them a metaphysical block on my life. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God and all to do. Praise God.